we're feeling happy to be here. And obviously, more emotional than we usually are. Because we're usually not. So we're gonna move on now to our public comment. If everybody's done with their comments, we're gonna move on to our public comment. And our first person is, it says Audit LA, but it doesn't have.
That's me. I know. I go by Audit LA. That's my media name. Thank you.
So when you get there, just give us your name.
I go by Audit LA.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, if that's okay. Good morning, distinguished commissioners. You have me crying with your comment, Madam President, and I think they're very blessed to have you. I'm honored as a person from LA to have your heart for the firefighters, because you know what I feel in this room right now? I feel safe because I am surrounded by people who will run into a burning building should I need them to, rather than run out. And I've been through a forest fire where I had to be evacuated. And I almost had my house burned down as a child. And I gave a year of my time to the local fire department because they came out as volunteers at 3 a.m. to put out a fire so we didn't burn down. So I thank you, all chiefs and every firefighter. I have so much love for you, and I'm sorry I'm using up my time, but I'm sorry you have me choking up.
You're just as emotional as the rest of us, so here's what's gonna happen. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
And also my love and respect to everyone who perished in 9/11.
Couple firefighters, and somebody can find her a tissue box.
I know, I'm sorry. It's like I'm very emotional. You see all these uniforms and these wonderful, brave people, and I'm just like, I'm choking up. Sorry, I'm usually pretty tough, but I'm losing it today. Okay, so here we go. I'm here because of a fire situation on L. Ron Hubbard Way. Okay, they are getting permit after permit after permit, and on their permit, they are demanded, that they have to keep a 20-foot fire lane, okay? And I am concerned, as having been through a fire and almost two fires actually, I am concerned that they are disobeying those orders. They have planter cement barricades, and on both ends, and the one end you can't even get through at all. On the other end, on the north end, you could get a ambulance through or a small rig through, but not directly. They would have to sit there and work hard to do their zigzag through the planters to get to you. And I just want to ask anyone here, if it was your home burning down or your family at risk, or if there was somebody that you loved having a trauma and they have their golden hour, would you want their ambulance or their fire truck to have to zigzag and be slowed down to get to you, to your family? I do not live on that street, but my heart is for, thank you, sorry, is for everyone who does, including the people who live in the Scientology building. It is cracking. It's got like I don't know how many, if it's 8 stories now, crack, and that thing could come down. The last 2 quakes, they've had damage. And all I can think of is that the people in there who don't make the decisions on whether or not to remove those blockades, they can't, but you can. And I'm coming here and I'm begging you to please open up the fire lane. They are not above the law. They are not above public safety. And as somebody who has been through fire, I don't want to see anyone harmed, and I don't want to see anyone needing an ambulance. And if they need, like, say if there is another earthquake and say the building does come down, and you're not going to get they might get a small truck through there. You're not going to get a ladder truck through there. And that's a 4 to 8 story building. And they're cutting down intentionally on golden hour, like if there's a trauma, and it would be easy to have a trauma there. So I am begging you to please have that fire lane respected and to make them open that up. If they want to have the permits, that's their business, but we need our fire lane opened up, please. And thank you to all of you, and especially all you chiefs. I'm sorry I got emotional, but.
Guess what? We have your letter.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We do. So we're gonna make sure that it comes to someone's attention and it gets looked into. But you sent the part.
I did. I didn't know if I would be able to get here on time, but it means so much to me that I got up here and I thankfully I made it down. And I just want to say that I want to thank this chief's son who actually rescued, I love animals too, and he rescued a cat on his first day of as a firefighter. So I want to thank everyone in this room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Whoops, sorry, taking it all with me.
Our next, public
Thank
speaker
you.
is Lee. I didn't see Lee.
Yeah.
So first name and last name, I apologize for not using your full name.
No, it's okay.
Good morning, Commission. I'd like to talk to you about the nickname Digital Debbie. The correct name, Digital Voice Network, I think it is. It doesn't simulcast. It needs to it can't simulcast. We need to go back to it. Commissioner Les Fisher invented simulcast. That's where it currently comes over. If you're in the field, you have no idea what's going on. The old way, what Commissioner Fisher did, it would go both on the radio and at the station audio both. So if a unit could clear 2 blocks away, they hear OCRA 60, we're 2 blocks away, we can clear and take that run. They don't do that with Digital Debbie. And a lot of times they supposedly simulcast, they don't, it's repeat. Sometimes the guys at OCD are either too busy or just too lazy to do it. They need to go back to the human dispatching. It works way better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Bye, guy.
So we're done with, anybody else that didn't sign a comment card or came too late? No, we're good?
I wanna do the police
We're now
commission.
going to move
Let's go.
into the, election of officers. I think is this we're turning over to you.
Oop, sorry. Thank you. I would like to do the police one. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Please thank your son for me. I want you to know I'm really grateful for the animals. I love them. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for all your service. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Sorry, guys. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I couldn't read it. Anything. Sorry. Oh,
Here's your water.
thank you. Just hold on to it. Oh, Minion, thank you so much. Much love. Respect to you, too. Thank you, Rochelle. Love your heart. You're the best. Thank you, Rochelle. I'm sorry, guys. That was really emotional for me. As somebody who's been through fire, they're the heroes, you know? They are. And I know they don't like that there's a restriction in that fire lane, so I trust the firefighters. Thank you. Hi. Hi. There's a couple. Oh, well, I want fire prevention. I don't know. I'm sure by now you're all aware of our concerns with L. Ron Hubbard Way. They keep getting permit after permit since June 1st. It's been continuous shutdown of for event permits, but that's only restricts vehicles, not pedestrians. But they are required on every permit to keep a 20-foot emergency lane open for emergency vehicles. They have not. They have cement barricades. And now on the one side, you would have to zigzag. I was told by a battalion chief he could get an ambulance. I'm sorry, I document everything I do. Yeah, and they because I am considered media too for LAFD, so I'm like, this is I'm on their list. So they have to zigzag, which is obviously it's slowing down their response time. It's going to slow down their golden hour time, all that. On the other side, on the south side, you can't even get any rig through. It's completely barricaded. And I'm here just to basically beg, plead, demand, whatever I have to do to get them, because they're not above the law. If the city's allowing them to have all these permits, that's fine. But they have to have the 20-foot emergency lane because they're messing with other people's lives and they don't have a right to do that. And they also said that maybe there's the church inspectors that could maybe go out and inspect.
Yes, it's Alex Arredondo is the lead inspector for that business.
What's his name? Alex?
Arredondo.
Can you spell that? Or do you have his card, or do you have his information where I could?
Don't forget to tell them that the one street's blocked off completely.
Right, the south side, the fountain side is blocked off completely. You could not get in or out there. The other one, you'd be significantly slowed down. And I know. I mean, I used to be. I was a volunteer with the fire department 30 years ago, so I know there's rigs. Yeah,
they're supposed to have that fire lane
open, right? Exactly. And that's on the permit. It's required, and they do not. They have like 2 cement barricades here, and then 20 feet over 2 on this side. So you would have to zigzag. So you could get a small. I don't think you could get the ladder rig there at all. And that's a tall building, it's 4 to 8 stories, and if you need to get that building, and if there's another earthquake, because their building's already crumbling for the past 2 ones.
Captain's here, we're gonna talk to him and see if we can get a hold of Inspector Arredondo.
Perfect,
That's his church.
okay, for that area.
And I know he's aware of the situation. I guess he's been trying to speak with the Scientology church there.
They're being very defiant. They were also ordered, because the other issue too is that on the fountain side is a fire lane, right? The red means for fire. And they have it, it's not ADA compliant, but it's also, the widest one is 3 feet. But some of them are even closer than that. So how are you gonna get all the equipment and you know what I mean?
You live on that street?
I do not. I'm here as an advocate, but I go there all the time. I don't live there.
I'm familiar with it. Hi, I'm Captain Venegas.
Hi, Captain. Yes. And just for transparency, I do document everything.
That's fully fine with me.
Thank you.
So you're regarding the L. Ron Hubbard Street that's blocked
Yes.
right there, okay?
And Fountain too, with all the planters that are not on the fire lane and you cannot get your,
Correct. So we saw an emails go out, and there's been multiple in the past few months.
yes.
And we have, all the product has been gone checked, and they have been following the rules. There has been someone standing there because there's been complaints about cars blocking and whatsoever, or even rose bushes and all kind of things. So far, we haven't found anything that they were in violation. This is a new one that we're checking into, because I saw the pictures. There's planters, looks like.
They've been there since June 1st.
The planters just first, so that they can be, as long as there's a requirement, the correct footage allowed for the fire lane is still there. Sometimes they'll have water barricades that aren't filled up that are removable, or they have a person that's guarding there that can move something. It's allowed. So I get my inspector out there to recheck it and see what's
Okay.
going
The
on.
south side is completely blocked.
So complete block mean like there's no.
Like they put barriers, they have those
water
cement,
barricades or
no, they have the cement barricades, which still, I'm sorry, like in my opinion, like it slows it down. Like if my house was burning down, I wouldn't slow down to get through. If I was in a golden hour for an ambulance, I would not want my ambulance slowed down because they're not, the permit says it has to be a 20-foot open lane, not a zigzag lane. And so that zigzag is not a fire lane. And if it was my house there, I would not want, they're slowing my help down. And I'm here.
Do you live on there?
I do not. I'm here to advocate for everyone who does, because that could be my street. Because if they feel they're above the law, then maybe somebody on my street feels they're above the law and they could do the same thing on my street. And I'm here to say no. And it has to be a 20-foot lane according to the permits.
Correct.
So if,
I'm gonna have my inspector who goes out there, who's in charge of that area, go out there and recheck it, and he'll take pictures and forward to me. And, were you on the email chain? Were you the one who emailed the pictures?
I did, there's two, so I know other people have been, because we're all,
It's been over months, so I'm
Yeah.
aware of it. So
yeah,
it's-
I did, I'm Audit LA. I know I do have an email in there. I don't know if I put the pictures. I did earlier, months ago, I sent a lot of
the ones that
pictures.
Obviously, we're showing planners. And look
Yeah,
at
that's-
the blocking. Look at the space on one side, but we have to measure. We have to go out there. So we're having an inspector go out there and check it.
Okay, but even the planners, if you have to zigzag, that is
Right, the
not,
farmers should be all the way through, but there are certain things that we do allow depending on.
I don't want that. That's what I want to fight. And how do I fight that? Because I want you guys, if my child is, or my loved one is in one of those homes, okay, and my friend's father is in that blue building. Okay, so I have my friend's family members in that building. And I don't want, if there's another earthquake and that building comes down, I don't want my fire department to have to zigzag to get to him. Okay, so it's ludicrous that they feel that they can get away with that. So I just want to know, and I'm not sorry, I'm not getting feisty with you. I want that 20-foot,
So we enforce the fire code.
the fire code, well, the permit says it has to be a 20-foot open lane,
And that's what we.
not the
enforce.
zigzag.
So we will look into it, and we will get back to you. If you want to leave your name and number, and I will get back to you.
I do, yes.
So let me get a
Hold on, guys.
whole different issue when it comes to construction, but they have their own rules too. So I will look into it. I will email you back. If you want me to call you, I'll call you.
Yeah,
And,
either. I mean, I'll be streaming until like probably, well, as long as I can. So probably, because I want to do the council meetings, because I have a lot of people interested. Like right now, well, it's 150 people, almost, no, 200 people are interested, because we're interested. It's just like, we're getting tired of
we
it.
are looking into it. We take everyone that puts any concern. We have someone go out and check and put eyes on it. We don't just say, well, it's nothing, looks like nothing picture. We put an inspector out there. Hey, go out there, and they go out there and look at it. and they have to get pictures back to us, and we go.
Okay. Could focus on the south side, and also the fire lane there on Fountain, because those planters, they're ADA non-compliant. I could not get in and out of a vehicle on any of those planters, and they have been ordered by the city to remove them, but they're refusing to, as far as I know. But that's also a fire, right? Because if it's in red, that's a fire, like, that's the fire.
Well, so there's the different rules, so some stuff falls under municipal code, some stuff is under fire code, so depending on what the issue is, but yes. There has to be ADA requirements to get you in every so often, there has to be room to be able to make sure there's ADA requirements, so there's a lot of different things, a lot of different, laws that falls under.
But how are you gonna get your equipment in there?
Our equipment, yes, well, we will get in there for sure, but the fire lane is above most support stuff.
Well, could you, I don't even think you could, now it's 24, you're gonna get a ladder truck in there? Like, that's a 4 to 8 story building, and it's crumbling, by the way. They have a 8-story crack in their smokestack on the fountains, I mean, on Catalina side.
I guarantee you they'll look into it, I'll have my inspector give me some pictures, and we'll get back to you.
Thank you, sir. And what you are,
Captain Venegas.
Captain Venegas. It was great talking to you. And thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir.